Welcome to another episode of Pals in the Blender. It's your boy A. Davis coming to y'all on this. What is today? Thursday. This beautiful Thursday morning. And yes, I do mean it's beautiful. For those who like cold weather, it's a little chilly outside, getting rid of some of that Louisiana heat. I'm sure it'll be back around the corner soon. We don't really do winters here. But I think today is a great day. I think it's a great morning. I woke up healthy, feeling good. You know what I mean? Got me some breakfast. I went and had it's not the best breakfast. I went and had Sonic, which has amazing drinks. Um, got me one of those. Uh, there was a game last night. You know what I mean? The Pels played. Shout out to everybody, and they, doing their morning routine out at work, dropping off kids on, doing whatever it is y'all do. Um, so I have a new level of peace right now with this particular situation, and a level of peace with this team because we came in with a lot of questions, right? Came in with a lot of questions this season, and I think we don't have the beauty, and why it's such a great morning is we don't have to wait 10 games, 20 games, 30 games into the season to have those questions answered. They've been answered immediately. And there's nothing in the world like clarity on your situation. And that's what we have. And that's something to be thankful for. So, let me explain what I mean by that. So, the biggest question, obviously there were some roster questions. Excuse me. Obviously there were some roster questions, but people were wondering what was going on. Like, what's the Willie Green situation? Can Joe Dumars, oversight make a difference? And they bringing in so many new players. You got out Bi Trey has an opportunity. All of that stuff really, really, was real questions and still real questions. But I think we were all pretty sure about what we thought about Willie Green and how the team felt about Willie Green, right? And I think parts of last season, so like in the 49 win season, and I'm we getting so far removed from the 49 win season that I hate to keep referencing it. But at the end of the 49 win season, when Brandon Ingram said, "Man, we won a lot of those games off talent," after Willie threw him under the bus in the playoffs, and they asked Bi, what's going on, and Bi spoke like, "Bruh, we won a lot of those games off talent." A lot of people thought about that comment, but like it it didn't really resonate the way that it should have, right? It didn't really pop the way that it should have. What that lets you know is those dudes were playing with a lot of pride and a lot of just trying to figure it out. They didn't want to quit on themselves, right? But when you're in a really bad situation and you in that situation for an extended amount of time and you're dealing with, it's like bro, like sports, teams, all of that stuff, all of this stuff is relationships at the end of the day. They've been in a Zion, all of these guys, Trey, they've been in a 5-year relationship with Willie Green. And can you imagine all of the instances over time? Like, see, when you're young, you don't know, right? A lot of those dudes first came into the league and they just trying to make a name for themselves and stuff. Like, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know if this guy's bad. You just out here trying to compete and trying to win it. Like, you don't even know that you at a disadvantage. Like, you might think you at a disadvantage, but you don't even really know what kind of disadvantage that you're in. And you're just doing the best you can. Whoa. Appreciate you for tapping in. What it do? New to the channel, bro. Rocking with you. What you think about the Trey performance this season? He's been as bad as Herb to me. I'm actually gonna get into that. Absolutely gonna get in that. I just kind of want to bring full circle about this clarity that we have, because this is a real. Let me make sure we're gonna address that. Appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Hit that like button, subscribe. Um, And look, excuse my peaceful demeanor this morning, because last night it was watching the game. It was a lot of so the thumbnail for this episode is the starting lineup. Once they announced the starting lineup, I knew we was losing. Like I knew we was losing. Like the loss was guaranteed. Like one, we don't beat good teams. We don't come back in fourth quarters. Denver's a good team on the road, elevation. You just got blasted. Like it was plenty, no offense on the court. Why is DeAndre Jordan starting ship? Sometimes why is DeAndre Jordan playing? Like you got all of that, right? You got all of that. All of that's obvious. But so the win or the loss didn't even really matter to me. Like Poole being on the bench, that's another thing. We're gonna get into that too. But what last night gave, like I said, is clarity. Again, this is all relationships, bro. These dudes talking about the players. Trey, Z, Poole, not Poole, I'm sorry. Trey, Z, Herb, Jose, all bro. They've been in a 5-year relationship with Willie Green. And you can imagine what it is that they've been dealing with, like what they've seen behind the scenes, right? Like it's gotten to the point now where they've gotten past the point of, oh, I really like he really not gonna change. You know what I mean? You know, like when you finally understand that the person you with, this is who they are. Like they started realizing it last year. They realized it, and like it really hit them in the 49 win season. But they were so proud. They was like, look, we could do it without him, right? We could do it without him. Last year, they would have really quit on him last year, but everybody got hurt. They ain't even have a chance to quit. Everybody went down. So last year, you kind of got not the pass, but you kind of got the pass because like DeJounte quit before he played a game. DeJounte came in and when they at the press conference, you could tell DeJounte was like probably talking to BI, probably put him on game because that, he said he had the relationship with BI, from way back or whatever. BI probably put DeJounte on game when he got there. And then DeJounte in the press conference when Willie didn't know his name and they were talking to him, he couldn't describe his game. He's like, bro, this dude don't watch no film. DeJounte was out. He just so happened to break his fucking hand and then tore his Achilles. So you ain't really, but they would have quit on Willie Green last season if everybody didn't get hurt. Coming into this season, when they got Joe Dumars and started making the moves, they probably felt hopeful. And then I think it was all taken away. Because the first two games, you should have won. You should have won them. And you saw not with the team. I don't want to say necessarily what the team could be because Trey still was playing God. Trey played awful and Herb played awful, but you still could have won those games. Like if you win those games right now, you 2-2. And even if you got 30-point blowouts, you still 2-2 at the end of the day, which is better than 0-4. But in those two games, Willie was the same Willie Green. And you saw the team just game by game start to quit. So by game 3, it was over. This is what I mean. Game 1, Jordan Poole on fire in the first quarter. And then he get that long stretch on the bench. If I'm Jordan Poole, I'm like, dog, what is this? Like I'm cooking. Like why am I on the bench for 8 minutes? Probably 15 minutes of real time. Nah, this dude don't know what he really don't. Z, I know you said he don't know what he's doing, but he really don't know what he's doing. Okay, bet. So you got that. Then if you remember during the Memphis run, Z was on the bench for a while. I was like, dog, why we ain't in the they just scored 19 straight. Why are the starters not in the game? Oh, he really don't know what he's doing. I can't, dog. I can't. Listen, bro, no, we could, and then they probably tried to talk him out of it. You know what I mean? They probably tried to talk him out of it. Meanwhile, Herb, even in game one, if you remember, Herb taking the shot at the end of the game when he should have kicked it to Trey. Like basketball players are probably like, dog, Herb, listen, And they probably had, hey, Herb, you got to kick that, bro. Like, you got to, and there was probably nothing said about it. This is all still repeated energy. So you come in the game too. And if you come in the game too and y'all all, this is a completely new situation, right? It's a completely new situation because Trey's situation is new. I'm the number 2 now. Herb's situation is new because he got real money now. Poole, like, shit, I'm here to, you think Poole told something, Willie? I 1000% think this. I 1000% think this, bro. Like, this is, to me, and I don't know how true this is. I don't know how true it is, and nothing to back it up. I 1000%. I said this on Twitter, maybe it was in my group or whatever. But for Jordan Poole to get benched, like, because if you remember in the offseason, during the offseason, they said all of the players have been way more vocal than they've ever been. Like, we're letting the players lead a lot more and stuff like that. Jordan Poole played for Golden State, bro. Jordan Poole is still a young player. Jordan Poole, you can tell by the way he speaks and things like this, intellect and like the way he's processing the game and stuff like dog. And he probably sitting there like, yo, man, what is this shit? What are we doing? So game 1, you got the Poole, like game 1, you throw away game 1. Game 2, Poole played the whole first quarter, played damn near the whole first quarter, and then still get like an extended rest, extended spot on the bench. This dude really don't know what he's doing. And Poole probably just on some slick shit, just was kind of like, oh, this man don't know what the fuck he talking about. Probably just jagging up threes. So then when you get blown out, right? You get blown out against Boston. You get blown out against Boston. But even in the Boston game, with Trey playing awful, Herb been bad since like the first half of game 1. Herb been bad since the first half of game 1. But there was stretches in the Boston game where you had opportunities to like do something about it. Opportunity to do something about it. And Willie just was being Willie. Now, again, the players got to play better and there's all of that. But if I'm Jordan Poole, like, dog, man, what the fuck? Man, what is you benching me for? These dudes, we cannot score. Like, we cannot score. The offense cannot score. Like, we're not in like a great position to be successful. What are you doing? And they've had a lot of like passive, like, I think the culture before was probably a lot of passive aggressive kind of people, right? Like BI super chill. Zion don't know no better. He done messed up so much. He just kind of trying to, you know what I mean? Like, shit, I just don't want to bring no extra attention to myself. You got all of that going on. Now though, when you Poole, man, I got a chip. I'm like, dog, what is this man? Z, what is he doing? Said, bro, I don't know. And they just tired. They just tired. They obviously quit. Like, when you getting beat down, eventually that's how they break you. So I absolutely think Poole probably said something, got his ass sat down, and you know, and Willie been talking so glowingly about how Jeremiah feels that like he been dying to make Jeremiah like his new Herb Jones. And the problem is Jeremiah Fizz is playing well, but he was playing. You took him out of the situation that allowed him to play well. You put him in the worst situation, in my opinion, putting him in the starting lineup. Like, he was doing fine coming off the bench in his minutes with an opportunity to kind of control the game, like playing slight minutes with Z, but not too much. So like the hierarchy was still there, like, oh shit, I gotta get Z the ball. But like when and then we don't run no real offense. We don't run no real offense at all. And there's no principles or rules. Shout out to Five, who always mention that. But when Jeremiah is starting, he's like starting the games, trying to actually point guard the game, like trying to point guard the game. But this team don't exist like that. And especially when you take the shooters off, and not to mention that trick, like playing the lineup that you played yesterday, there's no offense. There is no offense. So, like, what is Jeremiah supposed to do? He can't shoot yet. Like, not really. So you just put everybody at a disadvantage. So by you being so excited to play him, right, you done kind of, in my opinion, put him in a worse situation, because in both of the games he started, in my opinion, and he's played okay, but he hasn't looked as good as he's looked in the 2 games that he came off the bench. Like, that's the team. The team hasn't looked as good in the games that he came off the bench. Like, it's just pretty obvious, man. It's just pretty obvious. Oh, see, you got me worried. Bro, you got me worked up. I was chilling too. This is crazy. So to kind of talk about like the clarity aspect of it, when you seeing all of this shit happen and this team like play by play shut down, like, and I don't know what the word is. Apparently Chad said, and I don't want to misquote him or nothing like that, because he didn't give the actual reason, but he said that there were reasons why Zion didn't play game 3 that was out of Z hands. So to me, that's another issue why you saw the effort that you probably saw from Z coming into the day. Like, I'm sick of this not playing shit. Like, what's up with that? And being thrown under the bus in a press conference. Z come up with the injury. Well, it was I don't know what's wrong. What you mean? Dog, just don't say nothing. Z not available tonight. Why are you giving like the passive aggressive answers and information? Like, it's a whole bunch of when you like again, and I look at a lot of this as like relationships, right? If you imagine being in a relationship with like a Willie Green and Gail being like, if Gail was your mom, she'd be like, but I like him though. You know, you sure you won't break up with him? I love him. He's such a nice young man. And it's like, no, bro, that dude gotta go. No, I'm ready to get out, ready to be free. I'm ready to get somebody around that know what they doing, so we can flourish. Like, it's just, I don't know. But going back to the game to a degree, there's nothing that they do, and there's a bunch of like stats. I'm not even on the stats this morning and stuff like that. There's a bunch of, well, appreciate it. I'm 26 years old. One of my earliest memories is going to see this franchise when they were the Hornets. We had CP, David West, Bellinelli. I've seen every season. This shit breaks my heart. Yes. Appreciate you for tapping in. It's absolutely a heartbreaking situation. And the problem is they show the talent and stuff is there. They show the talent. The talent is there if you just play it, like if you just play it the way that it's meant to be played. Like, if you just put the people on the floor, and when they look bad, don't play them. Herb Jones looks unplayable. And the end of game 2, with Herb being that damn bad, Herb being 0 for 7 and all that, with Herb being that damn bad, is what I think ruined you for game 3 against Boston, because you got a chance to win the game. Like, even with because Trey, Poole, and Z finally all were like, Z was looking okay. 27, 20, what he had? 27, 10, 6 and 5, 6 and 4, something like that. And then Trey had 21, couldn't get a shot in the fourth quarter. And then Poole had, I think, 19 or 21 or something like that. So in that game, you in the game, right? Derek Queen is actually playing okay, battling against Wemby, right? Battling against Cornette. Dude still had, you got to remember, bro, you got to give Queen a little bit of a pass. He ain't have no training camp, no offseason, no nothing. And they out there fighting in that game. You go into overtime with a chance to win the fucking game. and you come back with Herb Jones, who couldn't stop nobody, who couldn't throw a rock in the ocean, as opposed to Sadiq Bey. And at that moment, I think that's when they was like, nah, dog, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. So going into game 3, you got, hold on, what I think Willie process is for coaching. I don't get it, bruh. I don't know. That I don't know. There is no rhyme or reason. There's no logic. There's no, because anybody who has played the game. Why? You know what I think it is? I ain't gonna lie. You know what I think it is? I think, and I feel like I said this before, I think he coaches one based off his feelings. I think he coaches based off his feelings, and most a lot of coaches coach based off of like if I like you or not. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of politics in the game. It ain't always like who's the best player and stuff like that. Like that's just a real thing, no matter what sport or whatever. There's always a little bit of that going on. But I think Willie coaches on who he feels resembles himself, right? Like, example, when he plays Herb Jones, right? Herb Jones been a starter since he was a rookie, a second-round rookie. And not saying that Herb didn't deserve an opportunity to play and stuff like that, but Herb has been respectfully an offensive liability like since the beginning. There's been no doubt in anybody's mind that Herb was going to be a starter, because I think Willie Green sees players like Herb, like Jose, like Najee to a degree, as players that remind him of himself. Tough, hard-nosed players, you know what I mean? Had to fight for everything. I'm giving those guys an opportunity every chance I get, as opposed to the more talented, skill like player, for example, like a player like Poole, who might be a little, I don't mean a little eccentric, but I don't mean eccentric in a negative way, like a little, a little flamboyant. It's like not like a little flashy, like, you know what I mean? Like a little flashy. Like that dude is a skilled like artist, like, you know what I mean? He's never gonna play a player like that over a player like Herb Jones. Like, even back in the day when we had first got Hawkins, and Hawkins, like, say whatever you want necessarily about Hawkins, but Hawkins at the time should have been playing over Jose. He won't do that then. When Hawkins was giving you 30-point games, he won't play him then. So you can tell he doesn't play or trust those types of players. And it's still going, it's apparent. I do not understand. Like, not take DeAndre Jordan age out of it. If Eves is healthy, Eve started 76 games for you last season. Like, missed a game. Did he miss one game? No, he missed one game or 2 games. I can't remember. Missed a game or 2. And then you start DeAndre. Bro, what are you doing? Eves has been looking promising as well. So what are we doing? Willie got to go. Herb and Jose got to get traded. Try to get back in the draft. Trey got to get it together, but keep an eye on him and Z and just focus on Fierce, Queen, Peavy, Missy. Peavy ain't even played yet. Why is Peavy not playing? Hawk, like, I understand you trying to go with what you trust, but dog, you know what I thought? I had this thought too. These dudes must be killing in practice. They must be killing in practice. Like, Herb in practice must be getting to it, dog. And it is just not translating to the game. It must look like, oh, Herb found his groove. You know what I mean? He had a good shooting day in practice. He looked good in the warm up, the shoot around and stuff like that. All right, yeah, we absolutely. And then when the game comes, same with Jose. Willie just want to do trust falls. You got Borrego on the staff. He always looked for the staff to confirm time, score, timeouts. Why not implement some of the sets into the offense? I don't know. The 2 times we've seen this team with Borrego when Willie been out on sick leave, they've looked like a completely different team. They just look like a completely different team. Not even from an offensive sense. The defensive intensity, the awareness, all of that stuff, bro. It's just you can tell just they do not believe in him. Herb Jones is a defensive player. The right coaching system will play to his strengths and give him a role. His role right now should be off the bench because Herb is obviously doing too much. And I kind of wanted to give Herb the pass because he missed most of last season and stuff like that. But again, Herb has just been effective offensively. And I came into the season like, you got to give Herb an opportunity. That's fine. But when you're bad on defense, he's not impacting the game. How I always look at the game is, can you do what it is that you do? Like at the end of the day, just do what you do. If you can do that, you can play. Herb at the end of the day has to be effective defensively. He is not. You can't play Herb for his secondary stuff. Like your offense was supposed to be something to supplement your defense. Like, oh, he's a great defender, but he's also not terrible on offense, so we could play him. But if you're terrible defensively and your offense is less than, you can't play. Especially when Sadiq Bey, when he was playing with the starting lineup or playing with those players, was looking effective because he doesn't have to try and do too much. And all of these players are trying to do too much and are not equipped to do that. The Pelicans just need to rebuild, keep Fizz, PV, Queen, keep Jose for the lock. No, can't keep Jose. And flip Zion for some picks. Said, bro, listen, after the Boston game, midway through the Boston game, I was just like, and I've been a proponent of like keeping Z because Z is ultra talented. That's why I'm not really, a lot of people upset about like the first round picks and stuff like that. I'm not even really tripping on the pick because realistically, you could go trade Herb Z. You could go trade Herb Z, Poole. Like you could trade all them dudes right now. And like you'll be able to get into the first round and get picks and all of that. So like, yes, it looks bad because you don't have your own pick and you gave up the Indiana pick. I'm gonna just be honest, like unless Indiana like decides to tank, Rick Carlisle, I think is just too good of a coach, and I think their team still has some players like when Nembhard come back and Matherin, like Siakam, like those dudes. I don't think like us, if Willie Green is still here, we will continue to suck and be awful. If the Pacers, because a lot of people talk about the Pacers pick. First off, it was top 4 protected anyway. So like it would have had to fall like 5 and after for us to get the pick, even if we would have got it. So like even if we would have had it. So, and not saying the way the NBA draft work, you wouldn't have got it, but if again, just thoughts, because people are like, oh, they 0-4. Well, yeah, they 0-4, but they did have protections on the Indiana pick. That's first. And then second, I still don't believe they're gonna be that bad. Their coach is too good, in my opinion. In the East, still not strong. They just need to get some stuff together, unless they literally just decide. So yes, that the trading the Indiana pick don't look great, but it's still whatever. Your pick looks terrible because, and that's the reason why like the Willie has to go now. Like they've quit on him very early into the season. And I'm gonna be honest, I think it's intentional. I think her playing bad is not intentional, but I think them quitting because this season was all about accountability. I'm gonna hold people accountable. We're gonna be competitive and all of that. When Herb is looking god awful and you don't bench Herb, that's not accountability. That's you playing to the favoritism, right? That's you playing your favorites. You can't survive like that. You can't win like that. And if I see you do that, right? I see you playing Herb while he's not playing well. But if I'm Jordan Poole, I'm essentially the best first quarter player we have. And the way Trey playing, shit, I'm looking like the second best player on this team, but I'm getting extended bench minutes. And Jeremiah Fears plays well, but Jeremiah Fears plays well next to Poole, next to Zion, off the bench, like stuff like that. Why wouldn't I quit? Nah, dog. No, I'm good on that. Willie's a rookie killer. The man refuses to play rookie. It takes his job being on the line for him to even play one rookie. So the part that's insane, and I think even with the rookie killer thing, he's playing the favorites, which is so either, and this is the part that's crazy. So Herb Jones, when Herb Jones rookie season he started, he was a second round defensive player who was good defensively and okay offensively. Good defensively and okay offensively. If Hawkins has been that bad, you have a history for playing a second round defender. Why has Michael Peavy not touched the floor until game 4 of the blowouts? Game 4 of the blowouts is when Michael Peavy touched the floor. Hawkins been bad, respectfully, since game 1. And I like Hawk, but he's been bad since game 1. You could have been had an opportunity to put Peavy on the floor and just see. Say, bro, and especially when your team is not playing defense. You know who's going to play defense? Hopefully, the other defensive guy that y'all drafted. The other defensive guy that's got some size. Just throw him out there. You ain't got nothing to lose. You down 30. He should have played last game. But again, those are the reasons why you gotta fire the dude. And the thing now, again, and go back, they ended the season last season. They ended, and some people were talking about this. I think Rod Walker put the stat up about like all of the losses. I had started saying it like, dog, they lost both preseason games to NBA teams. You ain't got to win yet. So you 0-4. You was 0-2 against NBA teams in the preseason, 0-5 in the summer league. I think you lost the last 11 games last year or something like that. Like, this dude loses. Losers lose, bro. That's what they do. Losers lose. You know now that he's going to lose. You just can't continue on with a guy that's a confirmed loser. Like, confirmed loser. Like, in this role, in this position, confirmed loser. It is what it is. It don't matter what players you put on the team. You see, like, bro, you could hypothetically, let's I don't even really care for hypotheticals, but let's do a hypothetical right now. If they traded for, because we were talking about a lot of like bringing in stars and stuff like that, right? Let's say they would have traded Brandon for Devin Booker. You think Devin Booker could overcome Willie Green? Man, Giannis said he won't come to New Orleans. If we put Giannis on New Orleans right now, still kept trading all of that, do you really believe that they will put the rock, like even if you had the players to play, right? Even if you had the players to play in an ideal situation, let's say you gave Willie Green, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the perfect roster, shooters, stretch five, all of that. Do you believe he would use it properly? No. Why? Because he's shown you through multiple, whoa, was good. Appreciate y'all joining the show, man. Everybody hit that like button. You hear me? Share the screen, subscribe, all of that. Appreciate y'all for real. But if you gave this dude the perfect roster, he still won't know how to use it. Like, if I give him all the ingredients to make gumbo, he'd probably be like, sausage, who needs that? Shrimp, who needs crab? Who needs that shit? Right? Like, the dude just has shown over his 5 seasons, right? Over his 5 seasons, that he does not know how to use the tools properly that's given to him. So it don't matter what's around him. And he is not a motivator. He was supposed to be a player's coach. How you supposed to be a player's coach and none of the main players like you? Like, fuck the role players. Like a role player don't matter, bro. I'm trying to stay in the league. The star players that supposed to be your people don't like you. Like, no, that's unacceptable. So 20 games in and Willie's still a coach. How we look at Dumas? Like, it ain't gonna even take 20 games. And I ain't gonna lie, I know they should fire him, but I don't think they will. I ain't gonna lie. And the only reason I don't think they will is just because I don't have faith in them. I don't have faith in them to do anything. Like, I don't have faith in them to do anything. Like, am I supposed to believe that, like, every move that seems like the obvious move, we never make? Like, it's obvious when Zion's not playing. Hey, bro, we traded 2 first-round picks to draft Derek Queen, who we think is going to be the future. Like, you think we will start that guy? And let me ask you this, and let me ask this, because this is a good point about 20 games and Willie's still here. We got to talk about Dumas going too. Dumas ain't going nowhere because, one, again, you gotta know the people that you with. That's Gail them people. So shit, we'll be crying for another 10 years before Joe Dumas get out of here. Like, respected, the name and all of that. Joe Dumas got to really do. Joe Dumas damn near gonna have to quit. We could have questions and we could complain and stuff like that, but Joe Dumas ain't going nowhere. I don't really believe that, but we absolutely gonna bitch and complain about him. What was I saying? If by 20 games, Willie's still here. Dog, if by 20 games, if Willie makes it 20 games, I'm trying to think of a circumstance where Willie could make it 20 games. Like, you've already seen enough. There's literally nothing you could do to fix it. You can't trade for nobody to fix it. Even if trading them, even if Trey and Herb get it together and start playing like what they've seen, like what they typically, play, you've already, like, in my opinion, you've already diminished Jordan Poole. Like, you've already, under this coach, diminished Jordan Poole to where I don't think he can be his best self in this situation. Like, it was too soon to go away from him as a starter for the rookie who hasn't, like, he's played well, but he hasn't played. He ain't fucking VJ Edgecombe right now. If VJ Edgecombe, if Fears was doing what VJ Edgecombe was doing, that's completely different. Hey, dog, somebody got to go sit down. Somebody got to go sit down. Like, come on, bro. He coaches like he has a team full of vets with basketball IQ. Like, of course, you can send out KD, Steph, and Draymond, and they'll figure it out. But we not that. Our guys need a coach. Because I don't even think if we had KD, Steph, and Draymond and Willie Green as the head coach, all of them would immediately be like, get this dude out of here. Get this dude out of here. Because what you mean Steph and KD can't play together on the floor at the same time? What you like? I just no, bro. I just have no faith. I have no faith. I don't want to see any more games. They need to fire him now. I agree. I don't know if they will. Be ready to go Friday. Be ready to go Friday. Lock loaded Willie Green. Lock loaded Willie Green, bro. They're not gonna do it. They should, but they won't. You know why? Because it would, if they fire him now, it would take admitting that you were wrong. I'm willing to say I was wrong on the season. Listen, I had this team for 49 wins, bro. I'd be happy if they get 4 or 9 wins the way they look right now. They're just god awful. It's god awful. Let's see it. It's just so dumbfounded how Gail can look at both of our franchises floundering, and I can see the pull the bottom. How can you sit there content and complacent when this is happening? I don't know, because the check's flowing. You still owning them. You know what I mean? By 20 games, the season will be over. That was my point. I made that point in the other episode. Like, last season, the season was over. Like, what, 15 games, like at 20 games, it was definitely over. But by like 10 games in, you knew the season was a wrap. You knew the season was a wrap. You just gave them a pass because everybody had broke down and like was hurt. So you was just like, if we get people back, then maybe we'll have a chance. And then Willie was probably hanging on that. Hey man, my first year we started they were 2-14, and they ended up making a play-in with 36 wins or something like that. This is not that. This is not that. That shit ain't happening. That ain't happening. It would speak to Dumars' mindset. That's also a great point. That would make, like, Joe Dumars came in talking about, we are going to compete. The one thing we're going to do, we're going to compete. They're going to be exciting to watch and all of that. Like, if he did have the mandate to keep Willie, and not even the mandate to keep Willie, because obviously we feel like that was the thing, but let's just say there wasn't a mandate, because Joe Dumars came in saying, look, I don't want to judge Willie right now. I know they got a previous relationship. I don't want to judge Willie. I want to come in, give him an opportunity. I want to assess the situation, blah, blah, blah. So, like, after all of these games, because after each game, I would imagine, like, I don't know if they talk, but I would hope that, like, you're talking after each game, right? Like, so Willie, what, what's going on with the team? You know how you gotta, you kind of gotta check in with your PO, because Willie on probation right now, right? Like, you were supposed to be gone when Griff was gone. If Gail was right, Gail would have just, if they did it the right way, even if you was gonna hire Joe Dumars with the flawed process, you would have did Joe Dumars the solid and just boom, clean slate. Clean slate. Even if you move Z. No, come on, man. He come in talking about change, but nothing but collect checks. Exactly my point. So if you're doing what you're supposed to do, right? If you really is engaged and all of that, then when you're after each of these games, and Joe Dumars knows basketball, regardless of his GM, like regardless of the GM stuff, he knows the game. When he's watching the game and Willie is doing some of the stuff that he's doing after the game, are you not having a conversation with Willie? Is this Willie on, like, is it Willie Green's own mindset to why he changing the lineups and drawing, like, for example, when they signed DeAndre Jordan, is Willie Green going like, oh shit, he signed DeAndre Jordan, maybe he wants me to play, like, maybe he'll like it if I play DeAndre, like, or is he not thinking to himself, like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but like, if they're having a conversation and Willie's looking more and more less down by each game, aside from the players playing terrible, because yes, they're playing god fucking awful, aside from that, you still look bad. And at the end of the day, somebody's responsible for that. You take the blame for that. Like, you're the leader. That's what it, like, somebody got to fall. Somebody got to take the fall. And to be honest, it's gonna be him or Z. Him and Z. Both of them could roll. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm a Z fan. Willie was at the same stretch. There's absolutely a mandate there. Dumars won't say it, but that told you all you needed to know. Obviously so, bro. Appreciate y'all. Everybody hit the like button. No. Willie being so connected. This shit is like a coup. It's like a coup right now. Because if I feel like if you a player on this team and Willie is as entrenched with the front office, and probably after every game, he's probably like, hey, Miss Benson, how you doing? How's the family? How's the church? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I see you Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, just doing everything you can. Like, this really might be the only way to get him fired. Now, you might end up having some casualties of that. You might end up getting some players traded and whatnot. But this is just what it is. So, regarding like Willie, like for example, what's the main problems with why Willie needs to go? other than like the accountability stuff. I do not understand. If your job is on the line, and you say, all right, I'm going to play one of the rookies. Fuck it, I'm going to start it. How do you not decide when the opportunity is there to play the other one, not to play the other one? Like, how do you decide not to play the other one? Because it obviously was a decision. When Z missed the game against Boston, everybody immediately was like, oh shit, bet. Oh, it's cool. We get to see Queen start in an opportunity to play an extended role, right? We get to see what the team could look like if you decided to move Z, insert Queen, and keep like Trey and Herb around, because Trey seems like, you know, untouchable or whatever. Not so much these days, but at the time you was like, shit, we could probably see what the future could look like. You don't even play, you don't even start them. You don't start the man, you don't play the man, like, and then you just playing them with the wrong rosters, like with the wrong players next to him. And he's playing the rosters so bad. He's playing the players so bad that they look less talented. Like, they're already to a degree at a talent deficit, but he's playing them in situations to where they look worse than they are. Like, if you playing offensive players with, like, if you play an offensive player without other offensive players, then a good defense, and then like respect, like another thing too, that like, honestly, this has been the perfect storm to a degree. Man, I woke up today just sad. Can't even get angry. The Saints are the only team that the Saints exceeding expectations. Jesus. And that's only because I thought they were going to go winless. That's a great point. So, like, respectfully though, like to the Saints, the Saints are doing what they're supposed to do. In my opinion, the Saints are doing what you're supposed to do. The only thing that the Saints should do that they haven't done was trade all the old people for whatever you can get from them. Like, trade all the old people, bring, like, just be bad, play Spencer, right? See what you got. Spencer had 8 games. All right, cool. We drafted dude in the second round, play him the rest of the way, see what you got. Worst comes to worst, you got a top pick. They need as much talent as possible. They fired their coach, got a guy, you know, that a young coach you're gonna wait and see. So, like, the Saints, even though they're terrible this year, in my opinion, I think they're doing what they're supposed to. The only thing they're not doing is getting off the old dudes. The Pelicans, that is not what we're doing. We went all in on the season, but didn't go all in on the season. Like, I don't mind you trading the picks because you believe in the players and stuff like that. But if you're gonna go, and he said this wasn't an all-in season, but at this point, like, even if you're saying the season not all in, you know this does not work. So you can't be waiting when you know for sure that this shit don't work. Like, Willie gotta go. It don't. Okay, boom. Great. That's why I said I woke up with clarity. Great. Okay, we know the coach don't work. Like, I did my assessment. You remember Joe said, man, I was talking to everybody in the building. Willie, I ain't really get to know. I ain't see first. No, you saw firsthand. This shit don't work. Man looked confused at all time. No energy, no emotion, no nothing. Just a log making silly lineups and dumbass strategies. Yes. Bruh. And I said this in the last, like, when you at the games, there is nothing more frustrating than watching Willie on the sideline. It just looked so discouraging. And I know the players feel it. Like, there's zero intensity. Like, he don't slam no clipboards. He don't move with no intensity. Like, there's just no nothing. And then, like, I don't know if people notice, because I listen to all of the interviews, right? He has been trying to talk more, like, intellectually about the game. but it's still hella basic. Like, we've been criticizing him for like the way he talks about the game. Like, you can't get no actual like analysis and stuff like that. So if you pay attention to like how he's been talking about the games now, he's actually trying to explain some of the stuff without actually like going through the concepts and process. It's still more force, more like just all of the same basic shit. He's not good. He's not good. And you can't fake it no more. It's too obvious. The players are not trying to save you. They're trying to save themselves. Full rebuild. Willie Z, Trey Hurt, full youth movement. Fuck it. I'm all in, dog. I'm all in. That's really why, like, yes, you want to have your pick. Yes, you want to have your pick, but that's why I ain't tripping on the pick. Because worst comes to worst, you should be able to get that for Trey. Even with Trey playing as bad as he playing right now, the league still the league probably view Trey as he's just in New Orleans. If we get him out of New Orleans, we're gonna be all right. They're probably gonna try and lower the price on you right now, but if you you absolutely can recoup picks if you move those players. So that's why I'm not really tripping on the first like that. We always appreciate gems. I drop a gem. I flew to Utah the year they had the back-to-back. That I remember that shit. Lost both of those, I think. I'm at the first game sitting next to Trajan. He called Willie incompetent and told me he was leaving. He kept to his word. He had to. He had to. He had to, bro. He had to. That's a great gem, by the way. That's a great gem, by the way. All of the people that know what the hell going on got like Trajan, and I'm not saying that Trajan was great, but Trajan at the time of getting hired was looked at as supposed to be like the next promising GM or like president of operations and stuff like that. So when Griff brought him in, it actually was a really big deal when they brought in Trajan. The problem is Griff could not get out the motherfucking way and let Trajan do his job. So Griff was kind of hindering Trajan to the point where Trajan was just like, I can't do this. I can't do this. So shout out to Trajan, man. And he done turned Detroit around. That's a completely different team. That's a completely different team. They got Monty the hell up out of there. Got Monty out of there immediately. We need a coach. We need a coach. And I don't know if JB Bickerstaff is the best coach, but he went got a coach with some history of success. So I don't know. Bug the PMO, but Denver turned my stomach. That shit was cool. So this is what I meant when I said the perfect storm, right? The perfect storm for all of this that happened. It's sickening seeing the national media tearing our team for those picks. We supporting the joke. Yeah, and listen, I'm gonna keep going to the games. I ain't gonna lie. First off, they give out cool stuff at the games. I ain't gonna lie. They give out cool stuff at the game. That's cool. And I like the boo. Like, I'm going specifically if they bad, I'm gonna let you know you bad. I'm gonna let you know you bad. I enjoy watching basketball games. So I'm gonna be in the arena. I'm gonna be in the blender. Shit, this is the Smoothie King Center. I'm gonna be in the Smoothie King Center watching those games, bro. Like when LaMelo come here, you probably gonna give us 40, talking shit, running around, throwing lives. It's cool to see. It's cool to see great basketball. It's cool to see really good players. So it just is what it is. But this is what I meant when I said the perfect storm. So you had an opportunity early in the season, and that's why I said you got great clarity right now with where you at and where you stand. Because if the season would have started with like, and I don't even know what bad teams other than us are right now, but let's just say you would have started with like Washington. You would have started with Washington, maybe what's another team that didn't make the playoffs, or like one of those 9 playoff contending teams or something like that. Like, let's just say you would have started with a couple of those teams, right? And to a decent start, you can hide it. You started the season off, first off, with 4 playoff teams. No, the Spurs didn't make the playoffs, but projected, right? and Wemby's supposed to be an MVP. You started the season off with 4 teams. 3 of them were still in like bad situations from an injury standpoint. But there were still like quality organizations over the last couple years. So you start off with Memphis to where you should be Memphis, but they're still Memphis right now. Memphis been a playoff team the last couple years. You lose that one, it's like you got the Spurs, right? The Spurs not a great team yet. They look like they taking a step, up and coming team. You play them tough, you lose. So now you're not getting fooled by what's going on. Then you play the championship level teams. Boston, even without Tatum, I mean, bro, they was a top team. They won the championship. Then they still was a top team last year. Like, even like that's just a good organization. They beat the fuck out you. You got Denver. You on the road in Denver. You know what I'm saying? You got an opportunity. And then you get blasted in that one. So, like, it's the first 4 games into the season, right? You had an opportunity to make a break early. That's why we said, you know, people that looked at the schedule like, dog, if they are what we think they are, they could get off to a really good start. And it hasn't materialized. Why? Obviously, the coaching has made the players quit, right? The players has made the players quit, and then it's just all downhill. But you didn't have to get fooled by them beating on like bad teams like the Nets. Imagine if we would have started with like the Nets and then the Wizards, and not saying that they win those games because they look god awful, but if you 2-0 against those teams, you know, you fooled. You just don't know. Can't get away from the team. Hell no. I can see next season being a rebuild. Now 60% of the players on the team gone. I don't know if we wait until next season, to be honest. If we wait till next season to see this, then I think that's an indictment on Joe Dumars. And then if that's the case, then I think you shouldn't. So if you have to wait till next season to see the rebuild, then that, to me, that means that you didn't fire Willie this year, right? Because if you fire Willie this season, then you give yourself an opportunity to see what they could look like with a different coach. Because at the end of the day, James wanted to leave. James was trying to leave. Hell no, you can't leave. You got to stay. If you force the man to stay, like, why would you let him stay for this abuse if you don't have him here for this opportunity that's presenting you right now? So that's my thinking. If they don't fire Willie, right? If they wait till next year to rebuild, that means they didn't fire Willie, which means you don't know about the coach. It means you didn't do nothing with the player. So, like, the opportunity you have now, fire Willie now. Let James get to the 20 games. You ain't got to wait. You ain't got to take that long to figure it out with James either. Let Willie, like Fletcher Maggle, who's connected to that franchise, said he thinks James Borrego going to be the coach by November 4th. That's the Hornets game. I tend to believe what he said. So that means we got a couple more games of Willie Green. So that you probably looking at 0-6. You looking at 0-6, and then you probably see they probably give Willie all of October. That's what it means to me. Do they have another game in October? So yeah, you probably got another game. You got the game against fuck we play next, man. The Clippers. Yeah, you got the game against the Clippers, and then you play. Is it Sunday? Yeah, you got the game against the Clippers Friday. Then you play Sunday against OKC. They probably gonna give Willie both of those losses, and then come back with James. So then you fire James. You give Borrego his 20 to 30 games. See if you can salvage the season. That should be enough time for you to really see what your roster looks like. If they don't get it together, then then you fully reboot the rest of the season. Everybody got to go by January. Everybody got to go by January, and we going to recoup these picks. We're going to let James finish the season, and then we're going to bring in a coach at the end of the season. And if they don't do that, then what's his name? Joe Dumars is a liar. Facts. You be at the game, bro. You ever seen the player, how they interact with Willie during the time, or they be laughing and joking while he talk? They do not like this man, bro. They know this shit is bro, when he grabbed the clipboard, it's probably like, what you drawing up? The same play that we've been drawing up? You ain't drawing up nothing new. You ain't working on nothing new. Like, he is not coaching, bro. He is not coaching. It's ridiculous. Like, when you add I'm telling you, when you add the games, even when you on the court, and then because mention the on the court, because we got to get into this Trey Murphy stuff. Pause. Got to talk about Trey Murphy. The owner got rid of money in Detroit. The fans here in Detroit is on trading head. What you mean? What's wrong with Trajan? The owner got rid of Detroit. Money had to go. Absolutely. Shit, I thought Trajan was doing a good job. What you mean? One more comment explaining. Alex are going to kill the Pelicans on the board. Washington have been tanking and developing their players on the low. That's what they supposed to do. That's what Washington's supposed to be doing. What the fuck you trying to? They traded for CJ and Middleton. Man, get them dudes out the building so Trey Johnson can play. Get Bub all. Them young dudes need to be playing 40 minutes a game. 40 minutes a game, bro. As bad as they need to be. And then it'll turn. That's why I ain't tripping off what the Saints doing. You just got to get the old people out the building. I think Willie has a great basketball mind, but doesn't have the personality to be a coach. I do not think he has a great basketball mind because he cannot articulate his beliefs. He cannot articulate his basketball beliefs. He can't articulate his principles other than like the 0.5 play with force, play with intensity. If you listen, like you notice how they've been doing the Tim Legler been doing like a coach's corner where he'll have a coach break down plays and schemes and what they're looking for and stuff like that. There has been no play I can remember in the 5 years of Willie being here where they've been like, okay, this is what we're looking for. Like, if they did it, they probably have Borrego do that part. Because I don't think Willie can fully articulate in a way that looks impressive to coaches. Like, also, we can start a search party for Trey Murphy. We got an imposter out there. Let me go through some of these and absolutely crazy pause. My bad, dog. My bad. Excuse me. Don't nobody more than Trey. You respect the big shit talker that bag it up, but talking shit and scoring 7 points make you look foolish. I'm glad both of y'all mentioned Trey Murphy. Let's talk about that shit right now. Listen, bro. Listen. You came into the season, right? With a lot of expectations. You got your money. Last year, you was even able to get experience because nobody was here. You was out there playing by yourself for a while. So you was able to, you was able to get opportunities that you probably wouldn't have been able to get being the number one option that most players don't get in like a healthy season or something like that. Because like if B.I., Murray, and Z and all, if they're healthy, Trey don't get that opportunity, right? And that's just what it is. So you thought what you saw from Trey last year and what you saw in the previous seasons that he had figured it out to a degree. Right now, not only is he not shooting well, he's not defending well. Like all of those things are absolutely true. Like he's clearly not like the shit that he's not himself. Like the confidence is gone, in my opinion. Like the confidence is gone. Like that's what I see. The confidence is gone because Trey will receive a pass, right? They would kick it to Trey, and he's constantly pump faking, over dribbling, doing all of that. The Trey of previous seasons is almost like, I don't know if y'all play 2K, right? But let's say you play 2K. You know how sometimes you'll like make your player better, but them first couple games, you be like, oh, he playing worse than what he was before I upgraded something. It take you some time to adjust to you being better. Like Trey catching the rock and not even just, bro, like I don't think I saw Trey take a 30-foot bomb all season. Like you used to know when Trey was on a break, if he touched it on a break cross half court, it was going up. Fuck the offense. Care nothing about that. Like he is so shook or like literally overthinking to where he's not even doing the basic. Again, you have to be able to do the thing that they brought you in to do. Bro, you are a shooter at the end of the day. You are a shooter. Like that's what it is. If you are not shooting and you are not scoring, then what are you here for? Because you're not a defender. Even if you try to defend well, you're just not a great defender. You're not even attacking. Like when like in the preseason, you were seeing these Trey dunks and shit. I don't think we've seen like a Trey dunk yet. And yes, they game planning for you, but you also playing soft as shit, bro. And you not playing confident. Why are you passing the ball to Jose on a break? You finally have the green light. You finally have the green light to get the ball, come down, not pass that hole to nobody, and shoot it. Like you have the authority right now to do that. Like you just don't see him doing it. Like why is you snake dribbling into the lane and stuff like that? Like at the end of the day, Trey's like float game and mid-range game has never been like the strongest parts of his game. At the end of the day, he's been like a great catch and shoot guy and above the athletic finisher. Dog, when things go wrong, get back to the basics, bro. Get to the free throw line, shoot you some motherfucking jumpers, get out on the break and go dunk on somebody. Do that, and then you can mix in your game. Do what you know works. He's not even doing that. So I don't know. I mean, Tracy is jealous of Poole. I don't know. Maybe. Dog, that defer to Jose is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. Trey passed up a 3, let Jose shoot 1. That when I watched that play, that specific play, I text my group and was like, dog, Trey don't have no confidence in his game. He don't have no confidence in his game because, and Herb must know, like they must know that Trey, that's his boy. He must know that Trey shook. Herb out there overly aggressive shooting, and you got Trey like, and it's not necessarily to be like overly hard on the players. You can struggle. This is a different type of struggle, bro. You look shook. Like, yes, you're getting more attention. Like, look, we just gonna run him off the line. They've been running you off the line. Like the game, like the plan for when they played you before was run you off the line. It didn't matter. You was shooting that hole anyway. Shoot the ball, dog. Don't think nothing about it. Just shoot the rock. You're gonna make them something, you're gonna miss some, but you're a great shooter. So you'll make more than what you miss. The reason your numbers look so bad, you're not even shooting a lot of the shots that you've been shooting most of your career. I think this is year 5 for Trey, which I remember Trey shooting the most. 3s or dunks. When you remember Trey shooting this many damn mid-range shots or these many floaters, that's not what you shoot. That shit is secondary to your jumper. Shoot the 3. Space out the 40 feet if you need an open shot. Like, do what you've been doing. Like, it's just, I don't know. Trey want to be the number 1 option. Seems like he feels like he deserves it, but his game inconsistent. I don't know how he can feel like he wants to be the number one option when they all know Zion is clearly the best player. And what's crazy is between that comment and your previous one, but to be honest, Z has never evolved. She drive left 9% of the time, get hurt because of that. Bruh, listen, we could say what we want about Zion, game not evolving, and that shit true. That dude still was averaging 26, 9, and 5 on the season and was leading the league in steals. With obviously Trey playing god awful, Herb playing god awful, Poole getting benched for minutes and stuff like that. So like, I'm not here to defend Z because I think Z gotta be better. But like, even with Zion's limitations, and he's clearly limited, though, in the first two games, like, this motherfucker was out here dunking on Wemby and taking like even with the limitations, the dude, like I said, 27, he was rebounding, getting steals, it was still getting assists, and nobody else was really playing well. I don't even think he was playing well. To be honest, I've been real critical of Zion to start the season because a lot of those 27-point games, he missing free throws. That shit should be like 30, 33. So, yes, there have some limitations. Shit, he that like the little floater was technically this floater is a game winner if they get a stop. So, yeah, Z's game needs to improve. You got to stop Zion not improving stuff. Dude is legit the only one person they got to guard. That's the problem. Exactly. Like, it's not about Z not improving. Yes, he hasn't technically improved, but that motherfucker's still dominating. He's still dominating. It's hard to dominate against a great defense, like not defensive, but like Denver is a great team, right? A lot of high IQ players. No, and Chaz was just when they announced the starting lineup, I said, "Oh, we on 4." I didn't even want to watch the game. I watched it anyway, but like when they announced the starting lineup, so against, and I don't think Denver, I don't know if Denver's gonna make it to. I don't know if Denver's gonna make it like out of the West or nothing like that because I don't believe in their coach, but I believe that they have champion, like their players have been together for a while, championship character and all of that stuff. Like Joker was coaching in the playoffs last year anyway. Adelman, I don't believe in whatever, but with this particular team, if you're facing with our team, the Pelicans, if you're facing a Denver team and they look at a lineup with Zion off a foot injury and you put him next to Herb Jones, who's struggling offensively, rookie Jeremiah Fears that does not shoot, and DeAndre Jordan, and you know they know DeAndre Jordan what he can and can't do. Like, dog, if I'm Z, I'm like, bro, what do we do? I don't even want to play this game. I'm not going hard. You're not about to kill me out here. And then what you see, every time he touched the ball, 3-4 people around him. Can't kick it to Trey. Trey not shooting the 3. Can't kick it to Fizz. Fizz can't shoot. I'm going to kick it to DeAndre Jordan. He can't jump. It's a lose-lose situation. But what you want me to do? Like, even if, and yes, Zion should expand his game. I'm not saying he shouldn't. Zion not working on his game. Don't see no improvement on his shoot. Zion probably have stuff in his game that he's just not confident enough to pull out. I get Paul's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know. It's just one of those kinds of mornings, I guess. Zion obviously, like, if you watch the like, I watch like the warm-ups and stuff, like this dude be shooting corner threes. You know what I mean? Like, he can shoot them. He just don't shoot them. And they're not game plan to shoot him. Like, he's not. Another reason I'm firing Willie Green, another reason I am firing Willie Green is because he has not yet made it a priority for Zion to shoot the three. He has not made it a priority for Zion to shoot the three. So, like, that to me is another issue. Like, bro, no matter what, you're shooting 2 or 3 a game. I don't care. You're shooting 2 or 3 a game. You gotta, you almost have to force them. You almost gotta, like, you've been here long enough. You've been here 5 seasons, though. Zion only missed technically a 1 full season, and then was Willie. Yeah, he missed Willie's first season, and then he got hurt the other half season, and then last year. But you've been here long enough to where you could have implemented forcing Zion to shoot the ball, and you haven't. So to me, like, yes, that's partly on Zion, but I also think that's the years of the coaching. You haven't forced him to develop his game. You haven't forced Herb Jones to get significantly stronger. Like, you haven't forced anybody really to improve. So again, if we're gonna be critical of the players, yes, you got to get better on your own. But shit, the coaching is not forcing these dudes to get better. He dominant but never touched the playoffs. He have a good stretch of games, but it's a mirage. Nah, man, I believe that dude dominant. We haven't seen it, but I just think when you get stretches, you've got like you say, you talking about stretches of good games. You've gotten extended stretches of Zion being really good and just not being able to sustain because of the health. But I don't know. It's still really hard to say with the lineups and shit they be playing. It's tough. Like right now, it don't matter if he was good because the coach immediately makes changes that makes it harder on him anyway. You got to build your foundation on the rock. What coach would you hire to replace Willie? Shit, I'm willing to run that right now, dog. I'm willing to run that right now. Hold on, let me get some of these. Gail ruining the Saints. Pels ownership need to change. A lot of people saying the ownership need to change. She's not gonna sell, so she's not gonna sell. So I mean, if it was my team, I wouldn't sell either. I'll be honest. We could want her to sell, but I ain't selling my team. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep collecting these millions. Be known as one of the only female owners in both leagues. In both leagues, and then you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be because I'm going to the game. But what I will do is I will sit there and I will boo the hell out you. I'm gonna do my part, y'all. Y'all can believe that. Why he needs to learn to shoot when the best in the league at going left every time and getting the layup. They had 5 dudes guarding him every time he touched the ball. That's a problem. So look. That's your coaches: Taylor Jenkins, Frank Vogel, Sam Cassell, Mike D'Antoni. All right, look. So I'll run y'all my coaches on who I think should be the next guy and why. Or girl, respectfully. I don't think they will, but or girl, possibly. They got some great female coaches out there. So assuming you make no major roster changes, right? Because my coaching hire is based on like a couple of different factors. And this was going to be a different episode, but fuck it, we running. Y'all hit the like button. You know what I mean? And we could transition to this because a lot of people want Willie fired, but not giving, I ain't going to say not giving their suggestions, but not necessarily giving their suggestions and why. Why? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Carly Ursay, the owner of the coach. Yeah. Shout out. She's new, because Jim just passed away. And, she got a job. And she's doing a damn good job, too. Damn good job with the coach. That Daniel Jones move obviously paying dividends over Rich. But with the coaching thing, right? These are some good suggestions. I don't like Frank Vogel. I don't necessarily think Frank Vogel is a great coach. I don't even say great coach. I don't really think he's a good coach. D'Antoni, I think D'Antoni washed. His time has passed. Taylor Jenkins, Taylor Jenkins, I would absolutely give credibility to. So here's my here's my criteria for coaching. Let's say you keeping the roster the same. This roster is built right now, regardless of if you want to or not. You're trying to contend based on the money that you spent on the roster. I think Z finally had 40 million, Poole 30-something million. Murray ain't playing, Murray 30-something million. Herb about to be at 20 million in a season or two. You know what I mean? Kenny Atkins got a job. Kenny Atkins, the coach of Cleveland right now. Kenny Atkins, the coach of Cleveland. So if you're trying to contend, right? You're in a position you're trying to contend. And the problems that this team, this particular roster has is they're not disciplined. They weak on defense. They're not emphasizing the defense. And honestly, they play offense weak. They play offense weak. And it seems like they will be better with shorter rotations, right? So if you're trying to compete, if you keeping this roster the same, and the weaknesses of the team, you need somebody to emphasize that. My main hire, my first hire that I think would be, and I don't know if they take the job, but I personally think Thibodeau is the right hire. Tom Thibodeau, personally. Why Tom Thibodeau? Right? I think you need not that I don't think you can afford Mike Malone, because you got the money to pay for whatever the hell you want. So I don't want to give them an excuse that you can't afford Mike Malone. But I think Tom Thibodeau track record, right? Started when he took over Chicago was bad, turned that into a really good roster, had a very unique player in D Rose, who D Rose wasn't a shooter, nothing like that, just was extremely athletic. D Rose was a great player, but was also limited, right? And maybe you could say he ran D Rose into the ground, but them Boston years, D Rose got him an MVP. They went to Eastern Conference Finals. They was a playoff contender every season. Even when D Rose was out, he was still making the playoffs with Jimmy Butler, right? Until D Rose got back. So he did that in Chicago. Left there, went to Minnesota. Minnesota had historically been bad after the KG stuff. Immediately with Cat, who was soft, and they got Jimmy over. He brought Jimmy over there, and they went. Did they go to the playoffs? I think they did go to the playoffs. Jimmy took them to the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Completely revamped what they looked like. Moved on to New York. New York had historically been a shit show. They had even the Carmelo years was a shit show. They made the playoffs twice. I think New York had made the playoffs twice in 2 or 3 times, maybe in the last 18 years before Tom Thibodeau got there. Right? So, and they went to the playoffs, and every year got better in the playoffs. I think the first year he made it to the first round, and the next year he made it to the second round, and eventually they go to the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I mean? And I mean, you had a chance. They had a chance to be they had a chance to go to the finals. So that would be a guy who came here, if he came here, right, would immediately demand respect. You could tell he ain't with the soft shit either. His mindset seems like the opposite of what Willie Green is. And a lot of people be talking about the roster. He's not known for playing coaches extended minutes anyway. I mean, playing a bunch of players either. So if you can't play, you ain't touching the floor. I'm playing these starters. All of them young, y'all playing. Y'all gonna defend. I think they need a coach like that. Right? I think you need a coach like that. That's just gonna come in. I got the offense. I'm willing to adjust it a little bit. We gonna play defense. He's smart enough to understand how to use his pieces that he has. And a lot of people might be pissed off that he don't use the full roster, but shit, if you ain't got that many tools, what you using a full roster for anyway? You don't need to do all that. Let that man do his thing. So the realistic hire I think they could make is Tom Thibodeau. That's first. My ideal hire would be Mike Malone, championship coach. Just got the history with the Pelicans organization. A lot of the same similarities as far as like tough, been around for a while, all of that. I think Mike Malone is like an obvious hire if you can get it. Taylor Jenkins would also be somebody I would consider for the job because his resume with Minnesota when he took over Minnesota was like he helped keep and reestablish Memphis. When he took over Memphis, he kind of helped keep and reestablish the Memphis culture, right? And while a lot of people didn't think Memphis team was great, the motherfuckers a couple years, they was 2 in the West. Like once Job got there, I think they had the first year while they weren't necessarily that great. But after they made the play-in 1 year, and I think they made the playoffs or they lost in the play-in. I'm not completely sure off the top of my head, but they've been perennial playoff contenders. Like no matter who the job be out, it don't matter. Jaren Jackson be falling out, it don't matter. Like he established a culture, and I know a lot of people in Memphis was ready to get off of Taylor Jenkins, but if you had Willie Green, you'd be praying for Taylor Jenkins. You get what I'm saying? So Taylor Jenkins absolutely would be an option. I also think Sam Cassell could be an option. I think so a lot of people talk about Sam Cassell and Chris Quinn from the dude from Miami, right? The number 2, what's the coach, man? Who's the coach of Miami? Who's the coach of Miami name? I'm drawing a blank right now. I can't think of his name right now. But Chris Quinn and Sam Cassell, to me, would be coaches you bring in if you're blowing it up. If you move on from Zion and you're not in like we need to win right now, that's when I would bring in an inexperienced coach. That's when I would go get an inexperienced coach. Let me see. Yeah, we don't have a first round pick. You got to try and make the playoffs. Spoelstra. Yeah, the dude Chris Quinn under Spo. Great selection with Tiz. I think he's the new Doug Collins from the 90s. Bro, you just need a great coach to set the foundation before you go on to win a chip. You need somebody to get these, like, that's what in my opinion, that's what Stan Van Gundy was supposed to be. Stan Van Gundy wasn't brought in to be your championship coach. He was brought in, absolutely not. You talking about Budenholzer? Absolutely not. I think Budenholzer is a god-awful coach. Not god-awful. He's not god-awful. I don't think Budenholzer is a good coach. Like, I think he did a good job in Atlanta, but all of these years with Giannis, I do not think he was a good coach. I just think they gave him a surplus of talent, and Giannis became an MVP. Like, if you go back and look at all of the Milwaukee Budenholzer runs, man, you know how many times them dudes was upset or beat early in like playoff runs and stuff like that with arguably the best player in the game, and Chris Middleton was playing well. Like, and yeah, they didn't have some times where they didn't have some injuries, but like you had ideal rosters in a weaker Eastern Conference, and you were struggling getting out the first round, dog. You were struggling getting out the first round. Like, no, I don't want Budenholzer nowhere near this particular team. Shit, you just saw Budenholzer with KD and bruh. If you can't win with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, even though their roster construction was a little shaky, what the hell you think he gonna do with this roster? God, no. Heavens, no. Heavens, no. Absolutely not. So I think Sam Cassell and Chris Quinn would be like good restart people. I think you need somebody off of this OKC line. If you're going like a restart, go get somebody from the OKC fucking coaching tree. Don't touch nobody from Paul's crazy. Nobody from Doc. And I know Thibodeau is off the Doc line, but Thibodeau didn't kind of reestablished himself enough to where I think he's separate enough from Doc to where we could just, kind of call that what it is. Like maybe somebody off of like, who else I would probably consider he's a little older, but making like a comeback. I would consider Jeff Van Gundy. As well with this particular team. Like Zion if Zion gonna be here, Zion needs like an older, no nonsense kind of guy. Somebody that like knows the game. Like they've been showing clips of like Jeff Van Gundy like revamping the Clipper defense and stuff like that. Like I think Jeff Van Gundy would be a really good option to kind of get some of this shit organized. Like it would probably be similar to what Stan was trying to do. And I think you saw the building blocks for something there, right? So who's that? So Mike Malone, obviously, like Mike Malone is obvious. I think Tibbs is ideal. I think Jeff Van Gundy should be in consideration. I think Chris Quinn obviously should be in consideration. I think Sam Cassell should be in consideration. Then you're going, old coach, what about Dwayne Casey? No. So like, I don't think people that's like in, not necessarily that like, because he was coaching around that time. Like I know somebody mentioned like Nate McMillan. I don't know, man. I just don't believe that like they have a strong enough and this is if you keep in the roster trying to compete. I don't think they have a strong enough you just don't, bro. Listen, dead ass. I would absolutely consider Dawn Staley. She a dog, bro. She a dog. Dead ass, she a dog. Great coaching mind. If you ever listen to her talk the game, like I would do it. Or go get Becky. If we're gonna talk about women, I will go consider Becky Hammond. I will absolutely consider Dawn. I would consider Dawn Staley. I think both of them realistically, they damn sure would do a better job than Willie Green. There's no doubt in my mind. There's zero doubt in my mind that they would do a better job than Willie Green right now. Dawn Staley and Becky Hammond, if you hired them right now, I think they would command more respect. I think they would have a better offensive and defensive scheme. Like you watch the coaching and the adjustments and stuff like it ain't just, like that's why you see. So for example, we talking about like the schemes and adjustments and stuff like that, bruh. The first half of games, that's why we come out, and even towards like they might start off struggling, but like towards the end of the first half, they have opportunities to like get back in the game. Like even the Denver game it was a 6, as bad as they played, it was a 6-point game at the half. It's like, if you know how like you watch a football game, or you watch like some of these NFL games, and your team be getting fucking dog walked, right? And then they go into the half, and you look up and you're like, bruh, it's only a 10-point game. We kick a field goal right here. We down 7. Anything can happen. You just make an adjustment here or there, and you right back in it. They played god awful and was down 6 at the half. Right? All you do, you come out the second half and be like, you know what? I was wrong for starting DeAndre Jordan. That's my bad. Missy, let's go. Fizz, Poole, my bad, Poole. My bad, dog. I shouldn't have not started you. That was fucked up of me. Let's get back out there. You know what I mean? Let's try and get some rhythm going, man. We was mad. And I think if you was able to admit that and do that, you would reestablish some of the credibility you lost with the team. The problem is when you double down on, like, it obviously looked bad in the first half. Whew, that shit ain't work, but we only down 6. You come out in the second half and double down. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, if I'm a player, like, oh my gosh, we survived. And then you come out and do this stupid shit again. I'm like, dog. And then the first couple possessions of the third quarter, what happened? Herb got the Herb plays. You miss a couple shots. Before you know it, 14-0 run. I think it was a 12. They went on a quick 12-0 run. Boom, boom, boom. Game over. Man, fuck this. I'm not doing this. We got a game Friday. You get what I'm saying? Not doing that. Byron Scott, no, I don't believe in Byron at all. And we had Byron. They got too many different types of, like, old coaches. I think you would need old coaches that's been away from the game for a while. I think you need vets. Absolutely. Look at the South Carolina. No, that South Carolina team. I mean, you could argue Dawn right now is who are the 2 best college coaches in women's basketball? Dawn, shit, not even just women's basketball. Dawn, I mean, obviously Gino. You know what I mean? That's legit. Mark Jackson. So look, I don't know if I would give the job to Mark Jackson, but I do think they need what Mark Jackson did for Steph Curry. Like, I would consider hiring Mark Jackson, but I don't know if Mark been away from the game for so long. Like, you got to think Mark Jackson was coaching, like, the Mark Jackson shit happened almost, like, because Steve Kerr been with Golden State almost a decade now, right? Yeah, they won their first championship in 2015. I think Mark last year was like 2013, something like that. So it's not to say that Mark, like, you know, he was doing the announcing and commentating. It's not that coaches don't come back, but you need a coach that's going to come and do, like, set the rules for the team. Mark Jackson got to Golden State and was like, if you do not pass to Steph Curry, I will sit you down. I will sit your ass down. And that's what this particular team needs. There should never be an opportunity where Herb Jones has an opportunity. There should never be a situation where Herb Jones has an opportunity to pass to either Trey, Poole, or Z, and he don't take it. Draymond Green was a 3-time champ at the time and didn't give it to KD on one play and messed up the whole dynasty, essentially. What the Herb Jones looked like not passing to Zion, bro? Or not passing to Trey. Not to say that they're on the same level as KD, but the reasons are the same. The reasons are the same. The schedule subs, ridiculous, man. Ridiculous, bro. Like, not only the schedule subs, but, like, it's like scheduled subs and then unscheduled returns, right? So I'm going to sub you out on a scheduled sub out, right? So 7 minutes, 7-minute mark, hit the game, boom, you know Z going to sit down. The problem is there is no consistency on, like, when a player is supposed to come back in. Because what Willie will do is he'll sub you out schedulely, like on a scheduled sub. But then if the players on the court kind of got it rolling, he'll let them roll way too damn long. It's like, wait a minute, no. Like, get the guy that's rolling back into the game. All of these are, like, perfect examples of why this dude needs to be gone. Like, it's just, again, man, it's just way too obvious and it's way too frustrating. Like, woo motherfucking sigh. I don't know. So again, for me, this this game wasn't even supposed to have this game. This stream wasn't even supposed to have this kind of energy because the game itself, what I think happened out of he lost the locker room, nothing. I don't think nothing happened. They're gonna come out and they're gonna get blasted again. That's what's gonna happen. Because I don't think as far as the players go, I think they checked out, right? And I don't think they're going to fire him immediately. Like, unless I check my phone right now and get the notification that Willie Green has been removed. Hold on. Nope. Yeah, no, we ain't got that notification, right? I don't think they're gonna do it. They're gonna come out, they're gonna play another game. Yeah, the locker room been gone. The locker room was gone last season. And in my opinion, he lost the locker room last season, and then the fourth quarter of the Spurs game. I think he lost the locker room when he came back with Herb Jones over Sadiq Bey. Because to me, that showed you wasn't really trying to win the game. You wasn't serious about winning the game because anybody watching that game knew Herb Jones was playing terrible. And Sadiq Bey, even if he wasn't playing great, he was playing better than Herb. And you didn't do everything you could to win the game. Rather than December last year should have been his last game. No, when we got, I feel like I remember that. That's when they came to the blender and beat us by 30, if I'm not mistaken. I was at that game. If we talk about the same game, I feel like that's because, yeah, that game was ugly. So at what point does a team need to have an Joe step in? Now, you can't. Everybody keeps saying you can't afford to wait, but this is the issue or concern. If we take Joe Dumars for his word, right? If we take Joe Dumars for his word, then Joe Dumars said that this season wasn't an all-in season. This wasn't a make or break season. So if that is true, then he don't have no reason. The results are not why he should fire Willie Green. The reason he should fire Willie Green is because he also said that if we're going to do anything, we're going to compete, which means the quitting, the lack of defense, the blowouts, that wasn't going to be a thing. And Willie is not doing anything to effectively change that. So if, like, team meeting, I think them dudes talked amongst each other and they decided to quit. That's the team meeting that happened. I think the team meeting was, we out. Like, fuck this. I think those dudes are like unified enough in their, not all of them. I think Trey Poole are unified in that because they're the offensive engines that got to deal with the response. They're the most impacted by what's going on by Willie Green. Like, more than anybody, is affecting Trey and Poole. And you can see it on their faces all the time. Like, dog, it's just high levels of frustration. I think Herb, because he's like, like a favorite of Willie Green, like, I don't think he's indifferent. You know what I mean? He's indifferent. And honestly, if you bring in a different coach or an offensive coach, it might spell less opportunities for Herb Jones. So I don't know if Herb really on the let's get Willie out of here, like Herb, Jose, like, I don't know if the leaders of this team are unified on that, but I know Trey Poole, shit, dude gotta go, dog. Dude gotta go. So at the point where Joe steps in, it really just depends on, like, where he lands. Like, where does he fall on it? Because if you take this is not an all-in season, I'm using this time to assess, then he never gave a timeline on like how long he was going to take to assess Willie Green and all of that. Right. So in that case, you could make a case that like none of this matters. This was happening last year and they refused to fire Willie. Like Willie might really be bulletproof. They might move players before they move Willie Green. And maybe Joe feels like it's not the coach, it's the players. Possibly. So there's that. And then the other side of it is the things that my name is standing on, the competing, playing tough, and all of that. You're the guy who's supposed to get them to do that and be effective and be smart. You're not doing that. And that's why I could see firing them. So I don't know. It just, we'll find out. So we have the answers on Willie Green, clarity, right? I think I don't know if we fully know about the roster yet. So regarding this coach, is it the roster? It's definitely the coaching. I do think it's a little bit of both. But we're not going to fully get the answers to which one it for sure is until you either fire the coach or move the players. You got to decide. The easiest thing to do is fire the coach. You fire the coach, you bring in who you think is a good coach. Like, you can't fire the coach and then bring in a worse coach, especially when you got James Borrego already sitting there. Like, if you fire Willie Green, James Borrego has already done enough. It's in-house. He's already been in your building. He knows your players. He's historically your better coach than Willie Green. You could just easily make that transition, and then I think you'll be able to determine if it's players or coaching, right? As of right now, it is a little bit of both, but we know for sure that the coach is not good. Mine was Kyra Lewis when Kyra was his first sub in that playing game a few years ago after not playing him for a month. Should have been his last game. There's been multiple times it should have been his last game. So listen, if I was going to fire, I'm going to tell you exactly when I would have fired Willie. So after the first season, Willie first season, obviously they started off slow, came back, made the play, and you played. Bro, that's how you know the expectations are low around this organization. We cheered. They had a standing ovation and cheering for Brandon Ingram for a 4-2 loss in the first round to the Suns, and they best player didn't even play most of that series. That's crazy. But I thought he had some potential that was like, oh, all right, that's a good first season, right? The second season, when you had the second season was tough because that was the year we had they went on the Zion was going crazy. They was the number one seed for a while, the number one in the West. Zion went down with the hamstring, and then BI was out for an extended period of time. I think that was one of the, not the first 10-game losing streak, because he had I think one or two of those in his first year. But like, you went from, I would have fired him after that season. The year two, you went from number one in the West. You was number one in the West. And granted, it was early, but then you lost like 10 or 12 games straight or some shit like that. And ended up, they made the play-in and they lost in the play-in that year. That year, I think I personally would have made the decision. That was the 42-win season, because for your coach, and granted, I understand the injury, but to go from the number one seed, and I think they had dropped at some point all the way down to damn like the 9 or the 10 or something like that, and ended up fighting to like barely get in the play-in, is he was showing signs during that season of not being able to close games, not being able to manage rotations, like obviously doing more with less. The scheduled sub stuff was a problem. He was showing not being able to sustain leads. He was showing a lot of that then. And if David Griffin like wasn't so anxious to be right, he would have made the decision that season. So say next game we lose by 30, Thursday, and then Sunday 30 again. Fletcher Mackle, like I said, Fletcher Mackle said, hold on, let me see if I can find the post real quick. Because Fletcher, I think, is really connected to the franchise. And he had the post. Hold on real quick. Let me put this up. Hold on. Right there. Fletcher on his Twitter said, Pelicans getting embarrassed by the Nuggets. I can't remember a season going off the rails so early, and I covered Byron Scott getting fired 9 games into the 2009 season. Sadly, Willie Green can't survive this. In my opinion, James Borrego could be the head coach by the next home game, which is Tuesday, November 4th. So, with Fletcher, if y'all know, Fletcher is really, really connected to the franchise. And Fletcher doesn't, that you got to think, they haven't done any real, like, not many real interviews. Like Joe Dumars had the interview with Willie Green, don't talk to nobody. Before the season started, if you remember, Willie did the sit down with Fletcher. Like, the Pelicans don't really do press like that. And Fletcher Mackle had the sit down with both of them. So what I'm thinking is Fletcher got the news. They're probably not going to fire him on the road trip, right? They're going to probably, look, we just going to let it be whatever it's going to be. We're going to see how these couple games go. I think the decision has already been made. I think Joe Dumars has made his decision, and they just waiting to pull the trigger. But I personally think this is what we looking at. So you gotta you gotta take into consideration who's giving the information. And personally, I think that's what we look like. And because imagine this, and this is the part that's a little concerning, right? If they lose, let's say they do this, right? And they lose these next 2 games by 30. Imagine either the home game gonna be empty, the home game gonna be dead ass empty, or you gonna have people coming in there specifically to boo the whole damn game. I'm gonna be one of them. Man, was Zion games against the Suns, the Smooth was some of the best times. I had the best. Bro, listen, Zion, and that's how you know. Like, you can say what you want about Zion. Zion a gamer, dog. Zion a gamer. Like, it literally just was because he played the day, the team quit, whatever. He missed the Boston game. Dog, you seen how dominant Wemby been looking? Zion, we the only team that I think got close to fouling him out. Fouled him out, dunking on him, bullying him at the, like, the potential to be good is in the team. Willie got to go. It's unacceptable. And like, even when, going back to this time, bro, Zion was like, man, they knocked my team out. They knocked my dogs out the playoffs. It's smoke every time I see him. 360 windmills on the break, was dominant down the stretch. Every time he see them, he trying to close them out. Anytime Devin Booker got something to say, he out there trying to give, trying to get him to smoke. So I just think we've seen enough evidence. I don't want to say enough evidence. I think we've seen evidence, some evidence from the players to know that, like, if you gave them somebody to believe in, somebody to lead them, somebody who know what they doing, that they could get on the right track. It's there. So I think we have a chance. I think we have an opportunity. I think you see the coaching change to James Borrego November 4th, the first game. And the reason I think you could, if you let me see. When is November 4th is what day is that? November 4th is a Saturday. No, it's not a Saturday. I'm sorry. November 4th is the Tuesday game. Maybe that's why they didn't give the Knicks interview. That's exactly why. Whoa, was good, Trey. Appreciate you. Everybody that's tuning in, man, hit the like button, bro. Appreciate y'all for sure. But that's absolutely why. Joe Dumars did not want to keep Willie Green. If you believe the mandate was real, which we believe the mandate was real, I think Joe Dumars wanted the opportunity to work with Zion, but they was like, shit, keep Willie. All right, cool. I need a fail safe. I don't think he thought he was going to have to hit the button. Either he didn't think he was going to have to hit the button this soon, or he knew for sure that he was going to have to hit the button this soon. Bruh, if you watch game two, look at fucking Joe Dumars' face. The second game of the season, he was sitting there with disgust. Absolutely disgusted at what was going on. There's no way he wants to. And if him and Zion got the relationship that they look like they had, that you saw all in the offseason, best believe him and Z on the same page about Willie. Like, him and Joe was spending too much time together for Joe to not know where Zion stands on Willie Green. Say, bro, go out there and do your part. We're gonna see what we can do. Zion probably got Joe on the phone and was like, Joe, I can't, dog. I can't. We can't. Poole, and if again, you got to think Joe Dumars says he talks to the players all the time. You don't think Jordan Poole at this point, which is probably part of the reason why he got benched, he probably was talking to Joe like, man, say, dog, this dude don't know what he's doing. Dude don't know what he's doing. I can just imagine what that's like. Like, if your boss came to you and asked you about like your supervisor, hey, what's it like working for what's it like working for Willie? What you think you would say if you Jordan Poole? He ain't getting no glowing review from me. This dude gotta go, man. We can't win like this, Joe. Like, I can't function like this. He don't know what he keep breaking my rhythm. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Right? So with that being the case, like, bro, and the starting lineup was so bad, you didn't even have to play the game. You didn't have to play the game. You never had to play the game. And the lineup has been bad, and we had some injuries, but the injuries ain't even really been an issue. You've had your key players most of the time. Willie believes in the players he shouldn't believe in. Now, why that is, who knows? I don't know. So I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I believe absolutely Dyson was logging out. Bruh, Dyson was doing the best he could under those circumstances. CP3 ended up having one of the best fucking game sixes ever. I think he went 100% from the field or something like that. So, I don't know. Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I expect Willie to get these last two games, the Clippers and OKC, finish out the road trip, and I expect them to get their asses beat in both. I don't know if they're going to lose by 30 necessarily, but I do expect them to lose. I actually wouldn't be surprised if like if they did somehow get one of the wins, it won't be against OKC. The damn sure won't be against OKC. She ain't having it. Even a bench ain't having it. They too good. You might be able to pull off something against the Clippers because the Clippers are inconsistent right now. But I expect when they come back to, I don't think they feel like they can come back to the city with Willie Green as the coach. I'll be honest, even if he won the next 2 games, I don't think it would matter. I think we've seen enough. I think it's done enough. I think even if they somehow beat the Clippers and beat OKC, like the part, I agree. They're absolutely gonna lose both of those. But like, I've been doing a little too much of the hypotheticals, but I'm gonna give you another hypothetical, right? Let's say they win both of the games, or let's say they win against the Clippers, right? For whatever reason, Willie Green gets the lineups right, he plays smart, does everything right, and they beat the Clippers. What really will get him fired is because they will go to play OKC and he would do the exact opposite of whatever it was that he did to win against the Clippers. And that also is the problem. Zero consistency. Like, we keep talking about, like, because he said, and again, he said, we need to find our identity. Motherfucker, you need to give them the identity. Not we need to find, like, you form the identity. We are going to do this. And then you play the players that lead to you doing that. Right? So if you want to be a fast-paced offensive type team, right? Because you know you need to play fast, DeAndre Jordan cannot run. Eves, Missy, and Carlo was healthy. Carlo ain't played a significant minute yet. And I know he was hurt early, but Carlo was one of your bright spots in the preseason. Carlo ain't played a significant minute yet. And if you're not going to play Carlo, play Derek Queen. Play Derek Queen. Nope, we're not playing Derek Queen either. Well, why not? DeAndre Jordan not even supposed to be here. He's not even supposed to be here. Dog, that dude is not on the team to actually play. He's shocked when he played. Listen to his interview. Listen to his interview. I'm here to help develop the roster, mentor young players. You know what I mean? And when my number is called, I need to be ready to play. He talking about when everybody was hurt. Look, if I gotta go give you 5 minutes, I can give you 5 minutes. Not in no motherfucking starting lineup against the best player in the game. Is you insane? Belt the ass. You just went out and told Denver, look, we don't want this one tonight. The players for sure came out. As soon as they saw the lineup, they can't even get the lineups right. While I say that, they can't even get the lineups right. Because in the Boston game, they had announced one lineup. You got them at the arena announcing Sadiq Bey, and he's Missy running out there. I'm like, what the hell going on? Say, bro, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do. I don't know what we're supposed to do. I don't know. I'm sitting there. I'm so confused. Well, I don't know, man. Steve Irvin crawling with warm and shit like that. So tight. Say, bro, I don't know. We a laughing stock right now. Laughing stock, shit show. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And yeah, that's I swear, dog, that's what I'm looking for. Every time my phone buzz, I peek over to see if that's the Willie Green notification. I swear, I'm looking like, because I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. I promise you, like, I would love to be wrong and they fire that dude right. Because typically, if you fire somebody, it's around these times, this time. It's first thing in the morning. It's first thing in the morning. Around lunchtime, they probably, get ready to do their shoot around or whatever. They made it to the new town or whatever. Like, hey, come in the office. Look, we got your tickets ready. We got your tickets ready to go. You know what I mean? No, I'm absolutely checking for that notification right now. But, they ain't going to do that, bro. Last thing I kind of want to throw out there. Say, bro, listen. If you a Pels fan and you wasn't born into being a Pels fan or a Saints fan or something like that, go get you a temporary team to cheer for. You ain't gotta stay over there the whole time. Go get you a temporary team to cheer for so you can keep your spirits up. It's okay, man, to go cheer for Pat Mahomes. Dude, a great player, fun to watch, wins. You know what I mean? Get you some excitement so you can watch sports. Don't fucking lock in strictly to this dysfunction. We can't handle it. This is not good for anybody's mental capacity. Willie Green is supposed to be a defensive coach, but doesn't play his second best defender in PV. Say, though, it don't make no sense. I gave the example earlier how Herb Jones was a second round defender with limited offense, and you started that man every game. Why can't PV can't play over fucking Jordan Hawkins? Jose Alvarado? Come on, man. What we doing? Appreciate y'all, man. Hit the like button. If you look, you think Z asked for a trade if Willie stayed the season? No, he don't have no leg to stand on. Hell no. He ain't gonna have to ask for a trade. He ain't gonna have to ask for a trade. They gonna just trade his ass. We ain't got no assets. We ain't got no assets right now. Well, we have assets. We don't have no assets for next year. Ivy hurt right now, and he need a contract. Ivy hurt, need a contract. So, I mean, fuck. I mean, you giving him away for nothing anyway. You need to be doing everything you can to continue to improve the roster. It's like I think that's what my next episode gonna be. Which will probably do. I'll probably do it tomorrow. To be honest, I'll probably do it tomorrow. Roster moves. You know what? That's what we'll do tomorrow. We'll do roster moves that they could make to help this team down the line, and then like real coaching candidates that's like available that could possibly help this team. And we'll look into some of that. You got to pay somebody to take him. Hawkins and like 3 picks. Said Hawkins got a year left. If you about to be bad, it don't matter. But you just can't afford to be bad. You can't afford to be bad. I personally, and matter of fact, we're gonna do it on the episode tomorrow. But like my personal thought is, I just say fuck it and go get like Laurie. Go get Laurie. Do what you got to do. Like give me the Laurie Kessler deal right now. Give me the Laurie Kessler deal right now. I'm gonna go look at ways that we can make that happen. Fuck that. We mortgaging the picks. Go get Laurie and Kessler and let that be your lineup. Poole, Trey, Z. You see, Poole, Trey, Z, Laurie, Kessler. And shit, anything else on the roster underneath that, whatever you need to do to make salary happen, you can do that. That's 2 7-footers, a legit center and a stretch wing. Do you got the money to do that? Because if you move, I'd be willing to move Herb, DeJounte, Missy, and a shit ton of picks. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to fire up the trade finder. Firing up the trade finder. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. That's what we're going to do in the episode tomorrow. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, tuning in, man. I hope we got through the early parts of y'all morning. If y'all at work, keep going, keep doing your thing, keep hustle, grinding. Always stay positive. You know what I mean? Even if it's for you, even in the down times, we are in the downtime. Don't trip. We got good times around the corner. I'm your boy, A. Davis. This Pels in the Blender. Appreciate everybody. I'm out. Peace.